as we monitor this potential winter storm and what it might do. Last minute shifting, as you can hear from meteorologist Delencia Jenkins, you're going to have to kind of wait to the last minute to find out exactly what's going to happen. So if we end up with a minor event, it could impact travel again on Monday morning, and it's something that we all have to pay attention to. And obviously on Monday morning, Taylor Bennett, C4 Brian Naiman will have the latest on school openings, closings, delays, and all of that good stuff, should there be any. And, of course, Tony Thornton with the latest on traffic, if there are any delays related to weather. So we'll do all of that. I saw some of your text messages that were coming in after our segment on the flying snow. And one of the pictures somebody sent me from down in Canton, I thought it was AI of the snow that fell and the ice that fell from the rooftop of some homes. And, I mean, it completely destroyed a car. And just using that as an example, we know how challenging that ice was to break up on your sidewalk. So imagine that on the roof of a car, and it dislodges and flies into a vehicle. It's going to damage the vehicle, which is secondary to what if it flew into the windshield. That can cause injury to those people. It can cause a catastrophic crash. So really, these laws that they're looking at enacting, that's for people who just don't care about anybody else. So if we just took a little bit of time to care about others, then we could think about it and say, we don't want to be the ones that are responsible for that. How would you like it if you went home and you saw that this major accident took place, crash took place, and you were the one responsible for it? So let's just try to do better. Anyway, the president is going to be speaking at some point this afternoon as well about those tariffs. That ought to be interesting to hear as well. So we'll bring you the latest on that on Monday, and I'm sure Gary Sutton will have a lot to say about that coming up tomorrow morning. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend and be safe.
I'm Chris Cheon. Here's the top stories we're following. President Donald Trump is about to speak at the White House in regards to the Supreme Court's 6-3 decision this morning, written by Chief Justice John Roberts, the court deeming that the International Emergency Economic Powers Act does not give the president the power to unilaterally impose tariffs. Here locally, a Harford County grand jury indicted a man in connection with a crash last year in which a teenager was killed. And rain cleared today, so as TJ was just discussing with WBAL TV 11 meteorologist Delencia Jenkins, all eyes are on a big storm system coming this weekend. But this afternoon, Orioles baseball's next on WBAL News Radio 1090 and FM 101.5.
Hope Springs Eternal in Sarasota, Florida's Grapefruit League Baseball for the Baltimore Orioles returns to Ed Smith Stadium. It's opening day in Sarasota, and a full house is finally in. And for the Orioles, lots of optimism after an aggressive offseason. There's a new first baseman, and there's a new man in the dugout, Craig Albernez.
The biggest game of the year. What do you mean? No, it's a spring training game.
And how great is it to have baseball back and to see an opponent?
That's the biggest thing. Like different uniform, especially open up at home. You know, in Sarasota, in front of our fans. You know, it's we can't wait to get in front of them and play. So we're just excited for that, and it's crazy to think about because when I first saw the schedule when it came out, I was like, oh crap, you only have 4 full squad workout days and then right into a game, but. It's now you go through those 4 days like, yeah, we're ready for games, you know, just to kind of play another opponent, see where we're at, and also just have some fun playing baseball. So just a lot of excitement going through everyone's veins right now.
That's Albie, and today in Sarasota, it's also a Trevor Rogers Day. More on that, and a new O's broadcaster plus lineups and first pitch from Ed Smith Stadium when we come back on the...
Hey, want a cookie? Oh, I know you just ate, so you're craving something a little sweet. Besides, one cookie isn't gonna kill you. How about half? Just a bite? Bite it. Bite it. Bite it.
Food noise isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. Your affordable GLP-1 source that puts you on a path to successful weight loss by quieting food noise.
Bite it.
Shh. Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Well, snow is in the forecast in Baltimore, Maryland, but here in Sarasota, it is perfect. Blue skies above Ed Smith Stadium. Brett Hollander, Josh Lewin with you from the broadcast booth here at Ed Smith. Orioles and Yankees. And Josh, welcome back, really, to the Orioles broadcast booth.
Brett, I appreciate that. I guess it depends on how old you are as a listener. It might just be welcome in general, because if you're under the age of 29, you don't remember me at all, and I'm not offended. The spectrum of my Orioles knowledge spans basically from Bunbury to Bigby. Before and after, there's a bit of a fog, but you'll pull me through. You're a veteran of the proceedings. I can't tell you how exciting it is to be back in Baltimore and Sarasota and to see Trevor Rogers on the mound and Pete Alonso at first base.
And the Orioles have taken the field. Rogers on the mound. Alonso is at first, and Rogers, we'll see how long he goes today, likely just an inning. And he's up against the New York Yankees. Austin Wells will lead off for New York. Jose Caballero will play shortstop and bat second. Jazz Chisholm, he will be at second base batting third. Ahmed Rosario, I should say Chisholm at second base. Ahmed Rosario will bat cleanup and play third. Ernesto Martinez at first base hitting fifth. Marco Luciano, the left fielder, hitting sixth. Duke Ellis is in right field hitting seventh. Kennedy Corona in center field batting eighth, and Ali Sanchez, the designated hitter, and batting ninth. And for the Orioles today in their home whites with the orange trim on opening day here in Sarasota, it is Trevor Rogers on the mound. And Josh, I know you saw it from afar. He was one of the best stories throughout baseball in 2026.
Yeah, and he's now wearing his age on his back, 28. And last year, you're right, it was just a dream. 9-3, 1.81. And just a complete U-turn from that debut in 24 when he was, 0-2 with a 7-11. And the Orioles demoted him to AAA. But, yeah, it's all about where it goes from here. And he seems very ready to prove he was not a one-year wonder.
We'll see if he takes the ball on opening day, March 26th in Baltimore. But he gets it here in Sarasota on February the 20th. Stepping into the batter's box for the Yankees, the catcher Austin Wells. Rogers ready to toe the rubber. And we cannot emphasize enough, it is a gorgeous day for baseball here off Florida's Gulf Coast. Trevor Rogers, as Josh mentioned, the 28-year-old left-hander who put together one of the great runs in Orioles history a year ago. And it was really out of nowhere. First pitch of Grapefruit League play, a strike on a swing by Wells on a fastball that was up in the zone at 92, and we are underway for baseball. We're playing games again after a harsh winter in the Mid-Atlantic. Second pitch, the 0-1, swing and a miss. Another fastball, this one down the middle, and it's blown right past the bat of Austin Wells. Rogers last year in 25, those 18 starts, 9-3 record, a 1.81, almost non-existent earned run average. Only 70 hits allowed in almost 110 innings of work. 0-2 to Wells, the pitch. That's looped foul off to our left. It remains 0-2. Rogers, he made his season debut in Boston as the 27th man in a doubleheader against the Red Sox. The Orioles were really scuffling at the time. The 0-2. Breaking balls popped up on the diamond. Racing in, the catcher, Basayo, trying to stay with it as it really moves with the wind. He's able to corral it in foul ground to the left of home plate between home played in third base. And that is out number one. Wells is retired by the catcher, Basayo, who's doing the catching today. Adley Rutschman is the DH. The Orioles have Kobe Mayo at third, which is a big plot to actually today's game with injury news on Jordan Westberg, which we will get to. Henderson's at shortstop. Jeremiah Jackson at second base. Pete Alonso, he is at first base. And if you're just waking up, yeah, that's true. This pitch a little low. 1-0 to Jose Caballero. Outfield left to right. Heston Kjerstad, Colton Cowser, and Tyler O'Neill. He is in right field. The 1-0. Inside, it's 2-0 to Jose Caballero. But for Trevor Rogers, he makes his season debut with the Orioles on May the 24th with absolutely no expectations whatsoever after his 2024 season. A strike there on the inside corner with a fastball, 2-1. And he really earned every opportunity he got after that. The season felt lost by Memorial Day for the Orioles, and he was one of the great bright spots, not only for last year's ball club, but one of the great turnaround stories without Major League Baseball. This is lifted foul and out of play off to our right. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Caballero. We can go through the numbers. They speak for themselves. A whip, if you're into such things, below 1. Just very few base runners against Rogers. Opponents hit just 180 against him. The 2-2, slowly hit to the right side. Jeremiah Jackson up with it, on to first base, 2 away.
And pretty wild, Brett, that the Orioles went 44 players deep last year before they finally called up the guy who would become their team MVP. There was just this whirling carousel of crazy nonsense. You were here for it, I wasn't. But the stabilizing force, who knew it could possibly be Trevor Rogers?
Jazz Chisholm will bat, 2 outs, bases empty, no score just underway at Ed Smith Stadium. O's and Yanks and the Grapefruit League opener. Rogers, the tall left-hander, delivers to Chisholm way inside with an off-speed pitch, 1-0. But it comes on the heels this season last year after a disastrous post-deadline trade where Rogers couldn't do anything right. And then last year in spring training, everyone said he looked so good, but he got hurt right before the team arrived here in Sarasota for pitchers and catchers. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1 to Jazz Chisholm. And then as a side note, the person they traded to Miami to acquire Rogers, Kyle Stowers, he goes off and has a monster year. Looped into right field, and that's a base hit on a few bounces in front of Tyler O'Neill, and Chisholm, a soft single to right. He is a 2-out base runner. So you throw that in the cauldron. The Orioles off to a bad start, a really bad start. You send Connor Norby, who's a prospect, and Kyle Stowers, who is a prospect, to South Florida. Stowers explodes, and you're left with Rogers not knowing what you have other than an ERA north of 7 the year before in a few starts. And then he gets hurt, and he kind of comes in and saves the day. Ahmed Rosario takes a strike on the inner half, 0-1.
And I guess that's why you can't judge any trade until a few miles have been traveled down the road. If you just take a snapshot of that trade right away, it's, the Orioles lost the trade. Now it looks pretty good.
Chisholm leads from first, being held by Alonso. The 0-1. That pitch missed away with a fastball at 93. 1 ball and 1 strike. It wasn't totally out of the blue for Rogers in the sense that he was once the 13th overall pick. And he almost won Rookie of the Year with the Marlins. So he has been successful before. This is Luke Fowl out of play off to the right, 1-2. And it was a matter of finding it again. And, boy, he found it.
Well, he found it, and the Yankees then trashed it that last start that he made. He actually had a 1.4 ERA until the Yankees got to him that very last start in September.
1-2 to Ahmed Rosario. Rogers from the stretch. His pitch. That's hit foul down the right field line. Well out of play. And it remains 1-2. Kyle Bradish, who everyone knows, has incredible stuff. And when healthy, he's among the best pitchers in baseball. He was asked who's getting the ball on opening day. He goes, it's got to be Rogers, right? The 1-2. First a toss over to first base. And back easily is Jazz Chisholm. It's got to be Rogers, were the words spoken by Bradish in the sense he got up to a great start already in the spring. And what he did last year was historically great. The 1-2. That is hit in the air to left field. It will back up Heston Kjerstad. He's backpedaling. He's on the track. He's in front of the wall, and he'll make the catch. When the wind blows out to left center here at Ed Smith, look out. But it's a long fly ball out. Rogers gets through the first, and he just gives up a base hit and leaves one. We'll head to the bottom of the first here in Sarasota. Pete Alonso due up second. No score on the...
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
If your vehicle needs service, stop by Jones Junction. Any make or model online at jonesjunction.com. No score. Orioles coming to bat in the bottom of the first. A hot shot prospect for New York. The 22-year-old right-hander Elmer Rodriguez on the mound for the Yankees as Gunnar Henderson takes a fastball strike. 0-1. Henderson, Pete Alonso, Samuel Basayo due up for Baltimore to begin this bottom of the first. Back-to-back home games out of the gate here at Ed Smith for the Orioles. Henderson fouled it off his instep, and it will roll all the way to first base for the Yankees. And their first baseman, Ernesto Martinez. So quickly 0-2 to Gunnar Henderson. Henderson leading off. Jackson Holliday, who led off most of last season, right now not playing. He has a hamate bone injury, likely not back until sometime in April. The 0-2. That slice foul down the left field line. Well out of play off the bat of Henderson. He fought off a good fastball. It remains 0-2. He may need some extra rosin on that bat. So there's no Jackson Holliday in the very near future. And there's no Jordan Westburg. I mean, two guys you were probably hoping would make the American League roster for the All-Star game this year. The 0-2. Henderson takes one low, 1-2. We learned today, and it had been talked about in the camp yesterday, about not only an oblique injury for Westburg, but also an elbow injury for the Orioles third baseman. A little roller, the pitcher, Elmer Rodriguez, off the mound. He'll glove it, toss it to first, and Gunnar Henderson's retired.
First baseman, number 25, Pete Alonso.
First at bat for the hulking first baseman, Pete Alonso, here in orange and black. Alonso batting second today for Craig Albertez. He'll get a right-on-right at bat against Elmer Rodriguez. And Alonso, a big cut and a miss, 0-1. So here we go. Pete Alonso, one of the big signings around baseball this past offseason. And now the Orioles' everyday first baseman after a 38 home run year last year for the Mets. He goes the other way on a ground ball to the right side. And it's picked up by Martinez a few steps towards first base. And Alonso is retired. unassisted at first, 2 down.
And he will go the other way quite a bit, hopefully not on the ground like we just saw. But it's a guy that grew up idolizing Mike Piazza, who is one of the great opposite field power hitters. Got to know Piazza very well all that time that he spent with the Mets. But a lot of his power is actually to right center, and that's kind of cool.
Samuel Basallo, he looks at a breaking ball away, 1-0. Basallo batting third. He's doing the catching today. Tyler O'Neill will be cleaning up for Craig Albarnez. Colton Cowser batting fifth in center field. Adley Rutschman, the DH, batting sixth. Heston Kjerstad in left field batting seventh. Kobe Mayo at third base batting eighth. And Jeremiah Jackson will be batting ninth, playing second base. That one is fouled back behind home plate. And it's 1-1 to Samuel Basallo, still technically a rookie, Josh. Someone who many believe will be contending for a Rookie of the Year award.
A Rookie of the Year, possibly, and he's signed through the year 2034.
The 1-1. Basallo looks at one away, 2-1. It was about a year ago where everyone had high expectations for Basallo, but the way he swung the bat in spring training last year turned a lot of heads. The 2-1. Good cut there, and he fouls right back behind home plate, 2-2.
I think physically he's turning heads too, Brett. He's lost somewhere between, he says, 15 and 20 pounds this offseason, but somehow added muscle. There's a very different look to him.
Added muscle. It looks a little more slender than maybe last year, but such an imposing young man. Right on left here, 2-2. 2 outs, bases empty, no score at Ed Smith. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got a fastball by Basallo, and the Orioles go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. We're through one at Ed Smith Stadium. No score on the Orioles.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over
pitches he gets here in the second. No score. Ernesto Martinez, a left-handed batter, due up for New York.
Tough not to be a little romantic today, right? I mean, just the palm trees and the breeze and these uniforms, all of it.
The pitch by Rogers. Swing and foul back behind home plate, 0-1. Romantic and feeling a bit of good fortune just to be here watching baseball, let alone calling it on the radio.
Another winter storm headed to the Mid-Atlantic. I mean, feel kind of guilty.
The 0-1. That pitch is away. Didn't miss by much. 1-1. I should mention, as Chad Fairchild is calling balls and strikes today, that this is a game, and the first ever game here at Ed Smith, that has the automated balls and strike system. Swing and a miss at a slow hook. 1-2. Other umpires today, and they will move around. Ben May, Junior Valentine, and Jeremy Rehak. But we have not had yet our first official challenge, but that moment likely to come. The 1-2. And a called strike 3. Got him with the fastball. First strikeout for Rogers. He gets Martinez looking. Now, I'm not sure how managers want to implement it in the spring or the regular season for that matter. I think there's a lot of unknown around the game. Josh, we have only been on a extended conference call about it with Major League Baseball, so I think they're looking at data from the minor leagues as where it's already been implemented. Breaking ball missed low. 1-0 to the batter Marco Luciano. But I'm curious myself. I'm not sure if what we see in the Grapefruit League will be what we see come late March and April. This is fought off and found out a playoff to the right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a total work in progress here, brother. I mean, the details we know. Each team starts the game with 2 challenges. You lose a challenge, it's gone. You win a challenge, it reappears. In theory, with a truly bad umpire, you could make 30 challenges in 3 innings and just keep on going.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. Got a fastball by Luciano, 1-2.
The signal to go to the videotape, as Warner Wolf used to say down in D.C., the hitter, the catcher, or the pitcher taps himself on the side of the head.
I do that all the time anyway.
Well, first one to go on the IL by concussing himself, doing all that, is going to win a prize.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball. Back-to-back Ks for Trevor Rogers. It is a gusty day here in Sarasota. No surprise with that.
This is the replay presented by Comfort and I-75.
But you bring up a great point just about how this is all going to unspool, because we just don't know. I think it's going to be some trial and error for everybody. But the robots have arrived.
They sure have.
I don't know.
Strike one to the batter, Duke Ellis, 0-1.
Are you going to miss arguing balls and strikes with umpires?
Yes.
Yeah, I will too.
I'm from Baltimore. I grew up hearing stories about Earl Weaver. Right. Swing and a miss.
I think somewhere Earl is screaming, come on. One of baseball's guilty pleasures used to be watching 5'5" white-haired managers running out to lose their you-know-what in plain view of a whole ball.
Was life so bad when we used to argue about calls?
Yeah.
And to see managers get upset? The 0-2 on the outside corner, just missed. See, that would be a moment where Rogers, that was a close pitch, close to the corner. We don't have the K-box in our monitor today, and that's being worked out too. That might go away completely.
Yeah.
The 1-2 off the plate for sure. 2-2.
I thought it was interesting when you were asking Chris Bassett yesterday about, okay, so what are the mechanics of all this? Will you be making that call? He said, no, I'm going to trust my catcher.
Yeah.
Because if I'm freaked out about it, he's freaked out about it, let him do it.
The 2-2, fouled and right off the mask of Samuel Basayo on a slow breaking ball. It remains 2-2. I'm curious about it. One thing that has been stressed from Major League Baseball on down, that this will be quick. Whenever it happens, it will happen in seconds. The 2-2, a little low.
And I'm a little dubious about that will happen within seconds, but we'll see.
Well, a lot of seconds can add up eventually if you are winning a lot of challenges and everyone gets a bunch of them.
Yeah. They were saying the average number of challenges in the minors last year was 4 per game.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him with the fastball. And Trevor Rogers strikes out the side in the second inning. His day likely done. He gets through 2, allowing just 1 base runner. Right where he left off. We'll head to the bottom of the second here in Sarasota. No score on the Orioles.
A Mochi moment from Mark, who writes, I just want to thank you for making GLP-1s affordable. What would have been over $1,000 a month is just $99 a month with Mochi. Money shouldn't be a barrier to healthy weight. 3 months in, and I have smaller jeans and a bigger wallet. You're the best. Thanks, Mark. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Mark is a Mochi member compensated for his story.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person looking at the deal. Additional terms apply.
Bottom of the second, no score. Young Elmer Rodriguez on the mound for New York. Tyler O'Neill stepping into the batter's box. Hitting cleanup for Baltimore. O'Neill looks at one that goes right to the backstop. 1-0. The cleanup hitter is fueled by Club Sitco. Cleanup on savings on every fill-up with Club Sitco. Download the app now to start saving. Tyler O'Neill very much looking for a bounce-back season. It was a rough go in his first year in Baltimore. He looks at a ball down, 2-0. 2-0 for Tyler O'Neill, who just had a really hard time staying healthy in 2025 after signing a big offseason contract. The 2-0. O'Neill clubs this into left field for a base hit. A very sharp single. And he is the Orioles' first base runner on this Friday afternoon.
Hey, by the way, O's fans, you can grab a 20-game pack or a full Birdland membership. It's the best way to secure the best seats at the best value. Explore the most popular benefits, including guaranteeing your giveaways and exchanging tickets for games when you can't attend. Learn more on how to become a Birdland member at Orioles.com/memberships or call 888-848-2473.
That voice is that of Josh Lewin.
Who?
And for us sports lines fans from the mid-'90s, very exciting.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Colton Cowser, the batter. He gets jammed and he fouls it off to the left.
I used to listen to you doing Sportsline on BAL, and you nailed it. I mean, I thought you did such a great job with it. And you had fun with it. That's what I liked about it.
Well, I listened to you when I was,
5,
10, 12,
2.
And I said, this guy's doing it a little differently. I like that. And then I got to watch your great career unfold. The 0-1, that pitch missed outside. 1-1 to Colton Cowser with O'Neill on at first base.
I think both of us are probably acquired taste, but as my grandpa used to say, if everybody liked the same thing, they'd all be after your grandma.
That's exactly right. I always say and we have a challenge. And
already?
I think it was called by the Yankee catcher, Austin Wells.
All right, well, they said it would take about 10 or 15 seconds to adjudicate. It's been, by my watch, 12 seconds. Strike. We just got it on the outside corner. It says up there on the big board.
I thought we would hear Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire, announce that there was a challenge. So I guess that's what I was looking for. But it's now 0-2 to Cowser. It was 1-1, so we're learning as we go here. O'Neill on at first, being held by Martinez, the Yankee first baseman. Keegan Aiken, by the way, warming up in the Baltimore bullpen. He will enter this game in the third. Cowser takes one that's definitely low, 1-2.
Talking to a long-time big league umpire yesterday, because I had a lot of questions about this too, Brett. And, the new strike zone, which has been tweaked, heights are now calibrated officially by Major League Baseball. You can't lie and say you're 6'1" when you're 6'4", trying to get a friendly strike zone for yourself.
The 1-2. Cowser grounds it right side, picked up by the first baseman Martinez to second for one. Relay back to first, too late. Cowser legs it out, but O'Neill is erased, and there's one away.
But this umpire was telling me, look, anyone who bats in a deep crouch is in trouble with this suggested strike zone. Ricky Henderson would have been in a bad place with this. If you got the long leg in front, all hunched over, your strike zone is now height-based. It is not stance-based. So I'm thinking of a guy like Bryce Harper. He crouches. His standing height is probably 4 or 5 inches taller. His strike zone is going to be at his chest. So, if think about Tony Batista, the way he used to stand straight up as an Oriole. He would have had a great strike zone.
Rutschman, the batter, switch hitter, hitting left-handed, and he takes a fastball inside 1-0. That's really interesting. A lot of hitters, they're more comfortable in the crouch stance, but also it's an advantage of a smaller strike zone.
Yeah, it now messes with what you've always known as the strike zone.
Cowser leads from first, as Adley looks at one down. 2-0 to Rutschman, also looking for a bounce-back season. Adley really has struggled offensively for a year and a half. Of course, last year he had 2 different oblique injuries, which held him to just 90 games. 2-0 to Adley. A strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Talked to Rutschman before the game. He had never had any oblique injury. In fact, he went back to his days in high school, couldn't figure out any injuries that he really ever had. So he tried to tweak some things in the offseason. Toss over to first. Cowser back with a dive and back safely. But it's a big year for Adley. Even with the emergence of Samuel Basayo, one would expect Rutschman will do a bulk of the catching. But he's so important to this lineup, Josh. The Orioles have been a different team in 22, 23, in the first half of 24, when he is rolling offensively.
Well, and it looked that way the first at bat last year, the 436-foot home run in Toronto, but it was kind of all downhill from there.
He had a good spring last year. It looked like he was back to form. Time is called by Adley in the batter's box. The numbers from last year, just those 90 games, 9 homers, a .220 hitter.
He had 1 home run his last 27 games.
Still a very important part of this team. Cowser jumping off first, the pitch, and that is low for a ball, 3-1. Of course, Rutschman still has that great batter's eye.
Yeah, and he's just 2 years removed from a 20 home run, 80 RBI season. He's in his prime at the age of 28.
No score. Bottom 2 at Ed Smith Stadium. 3-1 to Adley, and he loops this foul just off to our left, out of the ballpark. and well out of play, 3-2 to Mr. Rutschman with Heston Kjerstad on deck. So Adley, it'll be interesting to see where in the regular season Craig Albarnez wants to place him in the lineup, particularly if there's no Westberg or Holiday to begin the year. There goes Cowser, and it's a ground ball right side and through. Into right field, a base hit. Cowser turns second. He'll make it to third standing. Second hit of the inning for Baltimore, and the Orioles have something going, first and third, with just one out.
Something about a hit-and-run single under bright sunshine with palm trees in the background. I mean, how cool is that?
They're paying us for this?
Well, and this next guy coming up, just to continue kind of the good news train here, if Rutschman can bounce back, if Heston Kjerstad can get going, I think that's going to be very exciting. And Orioles fans obviously are waiting to see, can this guy really bloom in full? He's waiting to see if he can stay healthy enough to do that.
That time Adley turned around a good fastball from Elmer Rodriguez. There's a conference on the mound right now. Rodriguez at 25 pitches. Everyone, of course, in the springtime and in the regular season for that matter, but on series pitch counts, but early in the spring, particularly so. We'll see if the Yankees want to leave him in. They will. So Rodriguez will remain on the mound. I don't see anyone warming in the New York pen. Of course, in Grapefruit League play, there are no rules. You could take someone out and bring him back in the next inning as it rolls over.
It's anarchy in February.
Heston Kjerstad, the batter. The third baseman, Rosario, even with the bag at third. And the pitch to Heston. That breaking ball loops outside. It is 1-0. Cowser at third, Rutschman at first. Just one away in a scoreless game. Heston Kjerstad last year, as Josh mentioned, really barely played. A strike there, 1-1, and he has dealt with just a myriad of bizarre injuries throughout his professional career, almost immediately after being taken number 2 overall in the 2020 draft. Just 54 games last year and hit 192. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big uppercut swing, and he came up empty. 1-2 to Heston Kjerstad. He never played again, Josh, after the 6th of June. Now in parts of 3 major league seasons, 106 games and 10 home runs. Once upon a time, one of the game's top power hitting prospects. The 1-2. Kjerstad hits it on the ground to second base. Chisholm has it to second for one. Relay on to first, and that's a double play. 4-6-3, and the Orioles held off the board in the bottom of the second. First and third, just one out, and they do not score. We're 2 complete in Sarasota. We'll go to the third on the Orioles.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
6th free.
Well, 2 scoreless. from Orioles ace Trevor Rogers, and he'll give way to a new Orioles left-hander. No score, top of the third, and in for the play-by-play. Here's Josh Lewin.
Brett, thank you so much, and thank you, Baltimore. Thank you, everybody across the Orioles radio network for welcoming me in. I appreciate it very much. And, yeah, Keegan Aiken on the bump now and delivers to Kennedy Corona, right-hand batter. That one sailing outside. It's 1-0. Corona, 25-year-old minor league veteran in the Houston organization last year, Venezuelan. A slightly open stance, his right-hand batter. Outfield plays him straight up. Kicking the pitch. Breaking ball from Aiken hits the inside corner. It's 1-1. Keegan Aiken lost both his arbitration case and his hair this winter. He's got a new shaved head look as he misses with a fastball up and away, 2-1. He's trying to build off a pretty decent 2025. He was a reliable arm, 3.36 ERA over the last 2 seasons now. And he is now 30 years old. Brings a 2-1. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. And the count 2-2. Now, his walk rate was up last year. His strikeout rate was down, but he was featuring that plus changeup we just saw for the first time in his big league career. And it elicited a 101 opponent's batting average. Setting, he brings a 2-2. Breaking ball, that's chopped foul at the plate. Will do it again. These Yankees were 94-68 a year ago. The Orioles, we'll just kind of fast forward past it, 75-87. But hope springs eternal on February the 20th. Pitches a fastball, buzzed outside, full count. Corona wearing 87 on his back. And obviously, first day of spring training, not a lot of the Yankee regulars are here. No Aaron Judge, for example. 3-2 pitch, pegged but foul down the left side. The Orioles did not have a great time of it against the Yankees a year ago. In 13 games, they hit 176 as a team. They averaged just north of 2 runs a game. The kick, the 3-2 pitch. That is a little bit low, ball 4. So the leadoff walk to Kennedy Corona. Ali Sanchez, DHing, is coming up. Number 9 batter, another Venezuelan. Another guy with some experience, 29 years old. He's in his 6th organization. We've seen him with Toronto and Boston besides the Yankees. You might remember he pitched against the Orioles last year in a blowout loss for Toronto. Actually struck out Alex Jackson, who has since moved on to Minnesota. If you were wondering, the pitch down and in. Breaking ball to start him off. We will talk, I would think, rather expansively today about just what to expect this year. It is a year of some familiarity, some change. 1-0 delivery coming. That's lofted foul back to the net, 1-1. In terms of the rotation, I think right now, when you look at Bradish and Rogers, Chris Bassett coming in, you got Shane Baz, Dean Kramer, eventually Zach Eflin when he's ready to go. As the pitch is waved at and missed, a quick throw to first, skipping away from Alonso. He'll go recovered in the first base coach's box. And Kennedy Corona hangs out, stays right there at first. Basayo's got a tremendous arm. He just whipped that throw down there. I think it almost caught Alonso by surprise. That's some of the stuff that everybody's figuring out now. You've got Alonso, new to the organization. I'm sure he's been told that Basayo's got a cannon for an arm, but he just got to experience it in real time. And back to the rotation, we've already seen Rogers today for a couple innings. His time is requested at the plate and granted. But if indeed you're adding Bradish, Bassett, Baz, Kramer, Eflin to the mix, that's 6 starters right there, leaving guys like Tyler Wells and Cade Povich off in parentheses right off the jump. 1-2 delivery, sails high, 2-2. And Brett, that's not to mention the Brandon Youngs, the Albert Suarez's. I mean, there's a lot of pitching here.
Well, the guys who were thrusted into come to the rescue action over the last few years might be the opening rotation in Norfolk.
Next delivery hums inside. Another full count here, 2 in a row from Aiken at the bottom of the order.
It was just a year ago, Josh, that Cade Povich was hoping to win a rotation spot, and nothing against Cade. The club is still high on Cade Povich.
Next delivery is going to snap in there. Strike 3 called on the outside edge. Good-looking breaking ball to take care of Sanchez for the first out.
But now he might be the Tide's opening day starter, and that's probably where it should be right now at this moment if you're trying to win a division championship.
I agree as it cycles to the top of the order in Austin Wells. No score, top of the third, 1 on, 1 out. First game of spring training 2026. Happy New Year to you. Pitch crackles in at the knees for a strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1 to the lefty batting Austin Wells. And Brett, to your point, the other AL East rotations look nasty. I mean, the Blue Jays have added Dylan Cease, 7-year contract. Wave and a miss here from Wells at the next one. Dialed something back there, 0-2. Of course, they've got the former Oriole Kevin Gossman still. They've got Trey Savage, who just blazed through the postseason last year. Red Sox brought in Ranger Suarez, on and on. The wind in the 0-2. Breaking ball is fouled. Barely got a piece of it to stay alive. But it's interesting with these Yankees. They've taken something of a run-it-back approach. They will get Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon back from injury sometime this spring. And they've got Max Fried, and they've got the young flamethrower, who's very tough to say, Cam Schlittler.
Be careful.
I hope you're doing those games, not me. Wind in the 0-2. Got him swinging on a good-looking off-speed pitch, and that's going to be the second out of the third inning. Still no score.
Yeah, I get what you're putting down with the Yankees. And I haven't listened to New York sports talk in a while, but I can't imagine Yankee fans everywhere are pleased with just the lack of aggressive action this past offseason.
Well, everybody else was getting busy living. As the pitch is fouled back by the righty swinging Caballero, 0-1. No score on the top of the third. We'll see probably 6 different, maybe even 7 different pitchers out of that Oriole bullpen today. As the 0-1 comes in, breaking ball strike on the inside, 0-2. Don't think we're going to see Jackson Kowar, who's a great story, coming over from, well, various organizations. His wife is due to give birth today. Thankfully in Tampa, just about an hour's drive. So he is on call. 0-2, a little loop shot towards short. Jumping Cal Ripken in the 83 World Series style is Gunnar Henderson. Just that little humpback liner, as it was called by Al Michaels, I believe, to end that World Series in Game 5. And an easy catch of a soft line drive to retire the side in the top of the third. To the bottom of the third we go, and Kobe Mayo will be leading off when we come back. No score on the Orioles.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Coming to you next month, the Orioles' all-new premium club, the first of its kind. Space features a private upscale
A pitch coming to Kobe Mayo is low. It's 1-0.
We'll get there. These reads are long. Luxurious space directly behind home plate, including all VIP perks. Learn more about the Premium Club today and get invitations to the Orioles' more exclusive events.
0-1 delivery. Mayo taking a breaking ball, a check swing strike on the outside corner. I just didn't want to interrupt you. You want to roll.
No, I need a self-edit. Visit Orioles.com/premium today or call 888-848-2473.
Okay, here's the 0-2 as Mayo chops it past the mound. Slow roller towards second base. Jazz Chisholm flings it over to first. Kind of frisbeed it there with some panache. There's one out. Didn't get a chance to tell you about the Kobe Mayo situation that is now a situation, right? With Jordan Westburg being out, with Jackson Holliday being out. The Orioles choosing to hang on to Kobe Mayo seems like a pretty good idea right now.
What an opportunity for Kobe. You had to think both he and Ryan Mountcastle most impacted by the addition of Pete Alonso. Well, they're both still here.
Jeremiah Jackson, right-hand batter, takes a pitch on the outside corner, strike one.
And I think that surprised some people. They're both here, and both just might be needed. And that's the thing about baseball. You just never know, and there's never enough depth.
No score in the bottom of the third. Pitch to Jackson, waved at and missed. That one cutting down towards the outside corner, 0-2.
But, yeah, for Kobe Mayo, the big question right now with Westburg out, and again, we don't know for how long. There actually was somewhat good news today.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sliding scale, I guess, as the 0-2 comes in. Line shot one, hop towards second base. Chisholm has it again. A little more straight up with a throw this time. There's two away.
If you ask yourself about the worst-case scenario, you hear imaging done on an elbow in baseball, that's where your mind goes.
Right.
Now, key point for Westburg is he's a position player, not a pitcher. Mike Elias said today that he got a injection in his elbow, and they're going to give him some time. It is a partially torn UCL, and the hope is that with time and the injection that he will be back at some point in 2026.
Gunnar Henderson ropes one towards left center. That's down for a base hit. And the Orioles actually now have 3 hits off the righty Elmer Rodriguez, who, yes, is still out there in a scoreless game in the third inning. Pete Alonso's going to have somebody up now, and thankfully he's healthy. I know Westburg, dicey right now. Holiday, obviously, we're not going to see him probably till the end of April. I get it. But Pete Alonso, it's not just the home runs. It's not just the charisma. I think one of the selling points for the Polar Bear is the durability. You look at the back of his baseball card, a lot of 162s and 156s on there for games played. Wind in the pitch coming. That hums in for a strike on the inside.
That's exactly right. And for a team that's had a hard time staying healthy, you need guys you can depend on. And that's what the Polar Bear has been.
Wearing number 25 is an Oriole, not 20, because, of course, that's retired for Frank Robinson. Pitches a fastball upstairs, 1-1. But, yeah, Pete Alonso ranked among the National League's top 5 home run hitters every year between 2019 and 25. He's never missed more than 10 games in a season. No score, third inning, 1 on, 2 out. And the pitch is popped in the air, foul ground, down that left field line. It curls away towards the seats. And it's been a while, Brett, since the Orioles have had one of the top first basemen in the game. That dynamic has changed. Last 10 years, whoever was the Orioles' most frequent starting first baseman has averaged a WAR that wins above replacement of 0.2. Alonso's been averaging 4.2. Elmer Rodriguez brings the 1-2, and that's poked foul back this way. We'll do it again. So I guess if you go by analytics alone, the Orioles signed 4 extra wins per year for the next 5 years. And the whole reason Alonso was available, he was unable to find a lucrative long-term deal in the free agent market after 24. He bet on himself returning to the Mets last year. And this is the payoff. 1-2, sails down, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I know a lot of fans were hoping the Orioles would sign a frontline starting pitcher above all things. I really felt after last season, a legitimate presence in the middle of the batting order was the most important thing for this particular group at this time.
And a presence in the clubhouse, too.
Bingo.
Guy that helps you just by riding on the same bus as his other young players. As this one is blasted towards left center. A diving attempt in center field. Corona is able to stab it and end the inning. He went horizontal. and he robbed Pete Alonso in left center field. On a sunshiny day, a guy named Corona shines and makes the play to end the third inning. There is no score as we hit the fourth on the Orioles.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Shop Toyota for legendary reliability, style, and resale value. Visit buyatoyota.com. Josh Lewin with Brett Hollander today. It is opening day of the Grapefruit League season. We're hitting the top of the fourth inning, and Jazz Chisholm will be up there for the New York Yankees. And the new pitcher for your Orioles, it's Rico Garcia, who was actually with the Yankees for a bit last year, and the Mets. Overall, a 3.15 ERA. And against Jazz Chisholm, a swing and miss. It's 0-1. Fastball, when it's on, is at 96. Throws a change, throws a curve, throws a nice slider. And Rico Garcia will be leaving in 8 days to join Puerto Rico's World Baseball Classic team. Be a teammate of Elmer Rodriguez, we just saw for the Yankees on the mound. As Chisholm takes high, it's 1-1. And Brett, that's a weird one for Rico Garcia. He is very much from Hawaii, not Panama. Those are very different islands. Or not Puerto Rico, I should say. Also a very different island. As set at the belt, here's a 1-1 delivery. Buckles him back, 2-1. You cannot take a day trip on a boat from Honolulu to San Juan. But yeah, he is eligible to be pitching for Team Puerto Rico, and he will. Wind up coming, 2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss by Chisholm, 2-2. How about the islands on the mind? Because Chisholm's from the Bahamas.
And he's playing for Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic.
It's like a big game of Risk. 2-2 pitches high, full count. And Jazz Chisholm, by the way, two-time All-Star Silver Slugger last year, not hurting for confidence. He told reporters day before yesterday, heck with a 30-30 season. He's going for 50-50. Like Shohei. Payoff pitch coming. Lined foul back to the net. Actually, Chisholm grew up in the Bahamas, but moved to, of all places, Kansas at the age of 12. Now, that's a jolt. Slightly less beachfront. Slightly fewer palm trees. It's a good player, though. Exciting player, Jazz Chisholm. 3-2 lifted foul, back and out of play. But Rico Garcia wearing that 50 on his back, and that's for a reason, because Hawaii is the 50th state. Sid Fernandez, when he was an Oriole, did the same thing, picked number 50.
El Cid,
that rising fastball. Payoff pitch is outside. Chisholm discards the bat. Like, I don't need this. Second time he's been on base today, and here comes Ahmed Rosario.
Third baseman, number 14, Ahmed Rosario.
Now, again, I talk like I was here. I was not, but I watched enough TV, listened to you guys on the radio enough last year. I know that Garcia was amazing when the pressure was on last year, right? Didn't have a lot of opportunities, but he walked a tightrope really well. Swing and a miss as he brings in a changeup, 0-1.
Right now, this Orioles bullpen, Josh, is the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
You might have 4 locks, barring some sort of injury, and then maybe another 8 pitchers in this camp vying for the final 4 or so spots.
0-1 is popped in the air way up there towards Pete Alonso at first. He staggers a bit, comes in as the wind is thumbtacking it up. Alonso trips, he makes the catch. Left a little divot about 35, 40 feet up the first base line, right on that dirt. But he does secure that baseball for the first out of the 4th inning. Yeah, there's a lot to be decided. Some spring trainings, you show up and it's just kind of you're going through the motions. You know who's on the team. Maybe there's one battle for something. There's a lot of battles right now. And again, with the injuries to Westberg and Holiday, it's not just Jeremiah Jackson. There are other guys like Weston Wilson. I mean, a bunch of guys that are going to get a shot to make this team. Here's Ernesto Martinez Jr., and he waves in a miss. Here's strike 1.
Yeah, 10 or 12 days ago, I'm not sure if there were many position spots open. That's all changed with the injuries to Westberg and Holiday. We knew that the bullpen would have a few spots available.
High drive, left center off the bat of Martinez. The wind pushing it. Over goes Cowser, makes the running catch on the warning track. That'll send the so-called 50-50 threat back to first base. Jazz Chisholm has to hightail it back there, 2 out.
Great jump by Colton Cowser towards the gap in left center. It looks like he will be the Orioles' opening day center fielder. And if there is one question on this team right now, the outfield defense. There's no Mullins anymore patrolling center field gap to gap. O'Neill did not move very well last year in the outfield. Taylor Ward will be likely the everyday left fielder, but Adam Jones, who's here as a guest instructor, said he is pushing Cowser every day to be the best center fielder he can possibly be.
You and I were talking about our age earlier, going back to Orioles teams of days gone by. Pitch to Luciano's outside, 1-0. No score here in the 4th inning. I don't go all the way back to Paul Blair or anything like that, but it just seems like there's always really good defense in center field. And I know Colton Cowser knows enough of that history that he wants to continue that. He is working on it. 1-0 fastball crackles upstairs, 2-0.
Well, you had Jones out there for about a decade, and that was a lot of gold gloves. Brady Anderson, Mike Devereaux.
I love the way Brady played center. Pitch, a breaking ball, swing and a miss, 2-1. Went with that pull the string looking breaking pitch on a 2-0 count. Brady Anderson we will see in Anaheim this year. He is now the hitting coach for the Angels. Outfield straightaway against a guy who for just a hot minute was an Oriole this offseason, Luciano. The pitch, breaking ball, strike, hugs the inside corner, 2-2. That's the thing about these waiver claims. You grab them, but if you try to sneak him down to AAA, somebody might swoop in and say, nope, he's ours now. That's what happened with the O's and Luciano. Chisholm extends the lead, 2-2 pitch is fired outside, full count. And that means the speedy Chisholm will be on the move.
Yeah, if you follow the moves by the Orioles front office, and most front offices around baseball right now, if I'm that 39th or 40th guy on the roster, I would not invest in real estate in Baltimore.
No, I'd have U-Haul on speed dial. 3-2, a high fly ball left field. Kjerstad circling under it. Battles the glare of the sun, reaches up, makes a two-hand catch, and that retires the side. One left, and still no scores. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning on the Orioles.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
We are living the time-honored cliche of pitching's ahead of the hitting in spring training. No score, bottom of the fourth, as we pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Orioles Radio Network. Meat of the Orioles order in the bottom of the fourth inning. Samuel Basallo, Tyler O'Neill, Colton Cowser coming up against a new right-handed pitcher. That's Jake Bird, who slides one down and into Big Basallo. It's 1-0. Nice of the Yankees to bring a guy actually named Bird to Birdland here today in Sarasota. This guy, a one-time fifth-round pick of the Rockies. Played his college ball at UCLA. Number one team in the land as of now. Pitches stroked foul into the Orioles dugout, first base side. Was Kerstead hopping out of the way it looked like. Boy, that guy doesn't need another injury. Bird is a ground ball kind of guy, ground ball getting kind of guy. Actually making sure that everybody is okay in that Orioles dugout now looks to be the case. And Basallo needs a new bat.
And Josh, Orioles games are perfect to create new memories for your group of 15 or more. Group seats offer a wide variety of seating and pricing options to fit any group's needs. Visit Orioles.com/groups to learn more. That's Orioles.com/groups.
1-1 from Bird to Basallo. Swing and a miss. Here's one of those sinkers we're talking about, 1-2. Opening day, the home opener this year against the Minnesota Twins.
March 26th.
Basallo, left-hand batter, hulking left-hand batter, swings at that sinker again, doesn't get it, down he goes. So a big Samuel Basallo, now 0 for 2 with a couple of punch-outs, and up comes Tyler O'Neill. Wasn't too long ago that Minnesota was an opening day matchup at Camden Yards. 2012, 2016, 2018. And those were all won by the Orioles. The last one on an extra inning walk-off by your guy, Adam Jones. Pitch to O'Neill is down and outside, 1-0. I think at that point that made it 8 straight opening day wins for the Orioles. That was in 2018. Seems like 100 years ago when you look at those lineups. 1-0 fastball on the inside corner, 1-1.
And that, I can tell you, was the brightest moment of the 2018 season.
I was going to say, I went down that wormhole a little bit, and you're not wrong. As 1-1 comes in, a little chopper up near third, slowly hit, going to be a tough play. Rosario charging and just lets it go for an infield base hit. Bends down and picks it up just as it got to the bag. Tyler O'Neill is 2 for 2. And Colton Cowser coming up. Chris Davis batted leadoff for a good part of that year. You'll learn this about me, Brett. I am a total spaz. So there's no rabbit hole skinny enough to keep me from slithering down. But Chris Davis at leadoff would go on to strike out 192 times that year. But it was Machado and Scope and Jones and Mancini and Beckham, Craig Gentry, our old friend Caleb Joseph, catching batting ninth that day. Dylan Bundy started. And Richard Blyer got the win.
Rocky.
He just retired around this time last year. Pitches low to Cowser, 1-0. He's living cross-state in Fort Lauderdale now. And, of course, Chris Davis, for a while, we were just talking about trades and how you try to figure him out and who wins a trade and when you call it a win or a loss. First, the pitch from Bird to Cowser coming with one on. Off speed, that is outside. 2 balls, no strikes to count. And when Chris Davis came over, I mean, you're talking about Chris Davis and Tommy Hunter for Koji Ohara. And as Chris Davis is just raking home runs, it's looking like the best deal ever. A challenge here, a Yankees challenge that they're going to lose, apparently, here. That was the ball, we were told by our ABS robot friends. Call is confirmed, 2-0. So there.
Now, are you going to note the challenges in your scorebook?
That's a great question. I hadn't thought of that until right now. I guess no. As the pitch is definitely outside here, 3-0.
I can barely read what I have, so I don't think I'm going to go that route.
I know, because we're already distracted with all the changes of spring training, and you and I are just getting used to our rhythms and all. But, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't we put that in our scorebooks? How many challenges do you have remaining? The Yankees just lost one, leaving them with one. As Cowser will just kind of loop one foul off of the third base side. That's on the scoreboards now this year. It used to be, and I'm going to be that guy sometimes, the old man shaking loud. Used to be just RHE, runs, hits, and errors.
Yes.
On that line score. But wait, there's more now. As the 3-1 is in for a strike. Letter high to Cowser, 3-2. MVR we've gotten used to, mound visits remaining. Now next to that is ABS. And that's how many of your ABS challenges, automatic balls and strikes, that you still have to go. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch is laced foul, back to the third base side, will do it again. Imagine you've got some friend in from Europe. You're taking them to their very first baseball game, and just when you're doing a halfway decent job of explaining the nuances of this great game, you got to explain RHE, MVR, ABS. O'Neill extends that lead from first again. Not going this time, and here's another foul ball lifted off to the third base side, out of play.
I think what we are going to learn, or maybe it will fortify this for a lot of fans, that these umpires are really good. And when they miss, it's really close, if they miss at all.
Mm-hmm. Infield, the double play depth. Here's a bouncing ball past the mound towards short. Stepping on second for one. On to first, the double play completed. Jose Caballero did that neatly. And after 4 straight foul balls from Colton Cowser, it just did not work out. And that's going to be the end of the 4th inning. No runs, the 1 hit, nobody left. On to the 5th we go. It's the Yankees nothing, the Orioles nothing on the
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, where there's a Rogers Hornsby quote printed on the wall of the stadium concourse. Says, people ask me what I do in winter when there's no baseball. I'll tell you what I do. I stare out the window and wait for spring. And here it is with Pete Alonso at first base and Brett Hollander on the mic. We turn it over to Brett for the 5th inning, no score.
I love that quote, Josh. Love it.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it every spring.
Do you?
Coming here to cover Orioles baseball, or call it, since 2011. So that's what I do all off-season long. Grant Wolfram, the big left-hander. He will take over here in the top of the 5th. No score. Wolfram got into 21 games last year, a 5.4 ERA. He's got great stuff. Made his major league debut last year, and it was a long time coming for the Wolfman. He'll go left on left here against Duke Ellis of the Yankees. Wolfram works from the stretch with the bases empty. Ellis tries to bunt it, and he punches at it and comes up empty. It's a strike 0-1. Grant Wolfram, 29 years old, and he has a very firm fastball or two-seamer. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good sinker there. Quickly, 0-2. Last year in the minor leagues, 24 games with the Tides, a 3.5 ERA. But what stands out, and this is really important for a relief pitcher, over 27 innings of work, Josh, no home runs allowed.
Yeah.
The 0-2. This is hit foul. Had a play off to the left. It remains 0-2. He's a Michigan native. Went to school at Central Michigan University. He was drafted by the Tigers in the 17th round in the 2015 draft, and eventually debuted against the Tigers as an Oriole. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes. Ellis waved at one, and he's retired to begin this top of the 5th. It was kind of interesting. Debuted against Detroit, the team that drafted him, his hometown team, on April 26th. Earned his first win in a doubleheader game against the Mets at Camden Yards, pitching 2 dominant innings.
Well, 95 from the left side, that'll play.
He's one of those guys who has a real chance. Breaking ball and a strike down the middle, 0-1.
Big Michigan State football and basketball fan. And again, I date myself, but you'll remember this guy too. Remember Brad Pennington?
Do I remember Brad Pennington?
Big,
yes.
Right, big lefty with there's all kinds of control issues.
The 0-1, this is fought off foul. Had a play off to the right off the bat of Kennedy Corona.
I hope that's not the path for Wolfram. I think he will get the command part down. Brad Pennington never could, but he was another Midwest guy. Brad Pennington was really brash. I think this is a more humble, hulking left-hander.
0-2, and the pitch to Corona. That one missed off the outside corner, 1-2. Brad Pennington gave up a home run in 1993, and I was at this game, to Ken Griffey Jr., and that thing still isn't landed.
He mouthed the word wow. Remember that? And that made it into a commercial later.
And that ball still marked on Utah streets. The 1-2, foul back behind home plate.
You know, it's funny what I remember about Brad Pennington. I rode the buses with him in the minors, and he asked me one day, because he knows I'm a nerd, he said, what's the all-time record? Who's got the most wins by a left-hand pitcher ever? I said, I think it's Warren Spahn. And he looked me dead in the eye, and he said, well, yeah, for now. I think he had 2 major league wins when it got done.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And he got him with a breaking ball. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts for the Wolfman. Grant Wolfram, 2 up, 2 down against the bottom of this New York order as Ali Sanchez bats in the number 9 hole. Wolfram said really right now it's about harnessing that command because he has been wild throughout his professional career. That pitch low, 1-0. And you so often see that with taller pitchers, 6'7", 6'8". Wolfram, a good high school basketball player, as you might imagine. The 1-0. This is fought off and fouled back right behind home plate. 1-1.
In that kinetic chain, and we're not experts at any of this, but there's just more that can go wrong with your delivery. You got those long levers. More can break down. The taller, the bigger you are.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. That one fell off a table a biting slider, and it's 1-2 to Ali Sanchez. Orioles, by the way, keep their starting defense in behind Grant Wolfram, at least through this top of the fifth. I imagine that line change is coming soon. And Josh, you were telling me last night that you called a few National Hockey League games, so you know all about line changes.
I do. It's been a while, but yeah.
1-2 to Sanchez. Wolfram's pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Wolfram K's the side in the fifth. All three Yankee hitters go down swinging. A scoreless inning for Grant Wolfram out of the Orioles bullpen. And we'll head to the bottom of the fifth at Ed Smith Stadium. No score on the Orioles.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
Brett Hollander and Josh Lewin with you from Ed Smith Stadium. No score. Bottom of the fifth. Adley Rutschman, Heston Kjerstad, and Kobe Mayo due up for the Orioles. And on the mound now, Kervin Castro for New York, a stocky right-hander. Rutschman singled his first at-bat of the springtime. He winds up and swings here and just gets a piece of one, a fastball, and it's 0-1. Castro last season spent it dominating the International League in AAA, 35 games and a 1.5 ERA.
Fastball, change-up, curveball guy. Can't be named Kervin and not have a halfway decent curveball.
Adley bats left-handed, and he taps it towards the mound. Off the mound is Castro. He fires to first, and it's in time. He beats Rutschman there by about 2 steps, and Adley's retired 1-3, and there's one down. And Heston Kjerstad will bat, grounded into a double play his first time up.
But there's the Birdland Summer Music Series presented by CE Bank. It's back at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. May 9th, you can see Nelly live at the Yard. August 21st, it's the I Love the 90s experience with Vanilla Ice headlining.
Kjerstad takes the ball outside, 1-0.
Tickets are on sale now at Orioles.com/tickets. We went from ice hockey to, you know where I'm going with this.
1-0 to Kjerstad. Castro delivers. That's low. 2-0. So that must make you really feel old.
Yeah, I didn't even mention Tone Loc. But that is part of the I Love the 90s, yeah.
You are definitely on the play-by-play side, and I say this with all due respect, Josh.
Yeah.
The 2-0, slice foul sharply down the left field line. 2-1. You are the senior member of our group.
Yeah, I know. I bring a little touch of gray, right?
That makes 2 of us there. You know what? I own it.
I think you wear it well.
Thank you. I'm going for the sophisticated look. 2-1 to Kjerstad. The pitch. Breaking ball. Stays high. 3-1 to Heston Kjerstad with Kobe Mayo on deck.
Did I mention tag team and Naughty by Nature, by the way, too, as part of the 90s?
I think you did.
OPP, which is not a deep dive baseball analytics stat.
It will be one day.
I believe that's other people's property if you're scoring at home, but it's been a while.
We have a challenge here. That would be ABS. I'm not sure who called it. You know, they're announcing some but not all. And I think in the regular season, this will get cleaned up a bit. And now it's a Yankees challenge officially. We see that on the scoreboard. And it's taking a little longer than I think it's supposed to. And it is a ball. It was high.
So they're done. They're out of challenges, right? They've used 2, and they've lost both challenges, so that's it.
And honestly, in what we saw last year where it was only in certain parks during spring training, the misses were razor thin. These are 2 pretty big misses, 2 missed challenges by the Yankees.
And again, only the catcher and pitcher. It can't come from the dugout, so it's got to be either the catcher or pitcher that initiates from that defensive side. Only the batter can do it if the Orioles are up.
Of course, the great fear here is Kjerstad loops his foul out of play off to the left, 3-2, is that there will be somehow a way to manipulate this system. So baseball, that is, I think, above all things, and it should be, their priority as this gets rolled out. From what we can see in a broadcast booth to what's played on the concourse at a Major League game.
Yeah, they're not missing any tricks.
The 3-2, and that's ball 4. Kjerstad earns a walk, and he's a one-out base runner as Kobe Mayo walks to the plate at Ed Smith Stadium. No score, bottom 5.
And by the way, if you're out of challenges, as the Yankees are, you do get restocked in extra innings. 1 per inning going forward is how they're going to do this.
Which we may never see in Florida.
Oh, I would hope not. It's confusing enough.
Castro delivers. Mayo takes a strike. Of course, Kobe had a huge September last year, and he's hoping that carries over here. He thinks really a matter of confidence, finally getting it rolling to where he felt better about himself at the plate and was able to produce. That pitch is a ball, 1-1. 85 games overall for Mayo. 12 doubles, 11 homers, hit just .217, but came into September 1st hitting .184. Last 26 games, 6 homers, OPS over 900. 1-1. The pitch. Mayo looks at one high, a fastball, 2-1.
Yeah, he told reporters he was really, really, really proud of the way he finished last year. 3 reallys. And he's mature enough to know that all he can do is come out here in spring training, just make another good impression.
Kjerstad leads from first. Mayo hits it sharply on the ground to shortstop, gobbled up by the shortstop, and it's on to second for 1, and then the first 2, a double play. That was Brandon Shoemake starting that 6-4-3 double play. It was hit sharply off the bat of Mayo, but that's that for the Orioles in the bottom of the 5th, and we're still scoreless. We'll go to the 6th here in Sarasota, Florida. No score on the...
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Rates may apply.
Wholesale changes as we go to the sixth inning. Josh Lewin, Brett Holland are still in the broadcast booth, but the Orioles have made a bunch of changes in the field. It's going to be Will Robertson in left now, Enrique Bradfield in center. The Vanderbilt product will be shipped off soon enough to play in the WBC for Panama. Reed Trimble's in right, and it'll be Butterworth and Barrero now as the left side of the Oriole infield. Tell you more about them in a moment. Huff now the catcher, and Jose Espada now on the mound. More eager to tell you about the new pitcher, and we'll do that in just a moment. Looks like some more changes here for the Yankees about to happen as well. But first things first, we'll tell you at the plate, it is still Austin Wells, and he swings and misses from a first pitch fastball from Jose Espada. Right-hander for the Orioles here, slightly built. Wind in the pitch coming in. That's a fastball that misses outside. All right, so Espada is turning 29. He had one appearance last year, and it was pretty awesome. September 20th against the Yankees. Fill you in a moment. As the 1-1 comes to the plate, it's socked in the air to right field pretty deep. Wells gives it a ride. It's at the track, and Bradfield makes the call on the catch standing in the middle of that track in right center. There's one down in the top of the sixth. Espada faced these Yankees. He went 3 innings in his one major league game as an Oriole. A bloop hit was the only smudge on the page. The Yankees swung and missed at 6 of the 7 splitters that he threw. Got a great slider. And he is certainly on the outside looking in terms of making the team right away out of camp, but we'll just kind of see where it goes. Braden Shoemake at the plate, and he takes low. It's 1-0. He had come on defensively last inning. This is a guy that's been with Atlanta and the White Sox. Has not really done that much. Hitting 118 is a big leaguer. 0-1 from Espada, rifled foul back to the net, 0-2. Looks like Zach Short now on deck, although he's playing second for the Yankees, which is confusing. 0-2 is tipped foul right at the plate. It's been no runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Yankees. No runs on 4 hits for the Orioles as we play in the top of the 6th inning under bright, sunshiny blue skies in Sarasota. And Jose Espada, former San Diego Padres prospect, brings the 0-2. Tapped foul again, this time back towards the net. Brett was talking earlier about Ed Smith Stadium and how the Orioles have been here since, I guess, 2010 was the first year they moved in. 0-2 is pop foul back to the net. Still 0-2. 12th Street and Tuttle. If you're driving around and you're looking for where is the stadium, 12th and Tuttle. Named for local civic leader Ed Smith. The White Sox were the first occupants here, and then the Reds. 0-2 from Espada coming in. There's that big slider, swing and no sail. He didn't touch it. That's strike 3. Ball bounced out of the glove of Huff, who then tagged the derriere of Shoemake for the second out of the inning. And here is Zach Short. Short is not a prospect. He's 30 years old, and he's got time with the Tigers, the Mets, the Red Sox, Atlanta, and Houston. Hitting a .172 along the way. The pitch from Espada, there's that split, and it's a strike on the inside edge. Anyway, I think Ed Smith Stadium is a really comfortable ballpark to watch. I would think any sport, if they want to do something besides baseball here. Pitch is low, it's 1-1. Easy to find, easy to get in and out. And obviously for baseball, great sight lines. Our sight line, we can see the new facility they've built for these players here, Brett. The indoor training facility, which is incredible. 1-1 delivery is high, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, 17th year for the Orioles at this ballpark in the current iteration. And boy, have the Orioles really made Sarasota their home.
Wind up from Espada, the 2-1 pitch flutters low, 3-1 the count.
I get such a kick out of walking around town and meeting Baltimoreans who have decided to move here because of the Orioles. They had a choice to retire, maybe go to Florida, and they picked Sarasota.
3-1 fastball cut on and missed. 3-2 the count. Nobody on, 2 out. Well, we didn't miss going out last night. I mean, there were a zillion restaurants we could have gone to. I think we picked a good one. But, it's a social scene. Beaches are not far away. Complaint count 0. 3-2, off speed, taken. In there, strike 3 called. A delayed strike call from Chad Fairchild. But that's the inning. And 5 of the last 6 Yankees have struck out. Wolf from the lefty got 3 guys all on sliders. The split was the pitch of the day for Espada. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th and still no score on the Orioles.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what's to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metrics, root score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person living the deal. Additional terms apply.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
To the bottom of the 6th inning, still looking for our first run of spring training. Josh Lewin with Brett Hollander. More Orioles baseball on the radio tomorrow. In fact, all through this first weekend, got you covered on our Orioles radio network. And right now, as the Orioles will lead things off in the bottom of the 6th, they will do so against a new pitcher, although, hold on, you got the home plate umpire Chad Fairchild wandering out, and we already have some sort of equipment issue or maybe a headset issue. The pitcher is Bradley Hanner. And they're taking a look at something on the inside of his hat. Is that the
pitch comms?
I think the pitch comms is acting up.
More often than not, in the modern world, Josh, it is pitch comms.
Yeah.
But you know what?
What?
It allows me to tell you all about memberships for the 2026 season.
I'm so glad. I was just thinking, what can we do to give you time to tell me about memberships?
Well, you can grab a 20-game pack or full Birdline membership. It's the best way to secure the best seats at the best value. Explore the most popular benefits, including guaranteeing your giveaways and exchange tickets for games when you can't attend. Learn more on how to become a Birdland member at Orioles.com/memberships or call 888-848-2473.
Nailed it. Nice job. Pitch to Jeremiah Jackson's outside 1-0. He's 0 for 1 this afternoon. A glorious February afternoon here in Sarasota. A swing, a little loop in a right, a base hit. On a couple of hops down in front of Jackson Castillo, who has wandered into the game to play right field for the Yankees. So Jackson very much in the mix. As we've talked about, they've got injuries to deal with now, both to Jordan Westberg and, of course, to Jackson Holiday. So what looked like it was only going to be one chair in that game of musical chairs, who would sit in it? Could Jackson possibly grab it? Well, there's multiple chairs available now. We go to the top of the order. And I'll throw a name into the mix. Here's Jose Barrero batting. He'll stroke one foul down the third base line. Nobody's talking about Barrero, but this is a guy with some big league skins on the wall. He's had 444 big league at-bats with the Cardinals and the Reds. Granted, not a lot of success. His lifetime batting average starts with a 1, but he can play multiple positions. and he's got that big league pedigree. Room for him on the right side of the infield as the pitch comes inside from Hanner. It's 1-1. We haven't talked about Peyton Eels yet. He's a non-roster invite, but he's another one of those can play anywhere kind of guys. I'll throw him into that pile of possibilities. Ticketed for Norfolk right now. Runner goes, and the pitch blooped foul out of play. So as we're re-racking this Orioles lineup now, Barrero at the top of the order. He'll play short. Alonso stays in the game. It's now Huff catching, batting third. Reed Trimble is going to be the cleanup batter going forward. The speedy Enrique Bradfield Jr. in center, now batting fifth. Rutschman stays the DH. Will Robertson is in left. I believe they're going to put Butterworth in the 8 hole. And yeah, Jackson stays hitting ninth. Pitch to Barrero taken, and it's low, 2-2. We've seen the ABS system in play already today, and the umpires' mics have not been turned on, but the technology on the scoreboard's been working fine. 2-2 delivery with one on. That's taken. Called third strike down on the outside corner. So it's now 1 on, 1 out. Pete Alonso coming up. Third time we'll see him as an Oriole. That's it. I mean, it's just 3 at-bats today, but there's going to be a lot more to come. 5-year contract, average of $31 million a year. Second largest outlay in franchise history behind what they gave to Chris Davis. Here's a swing, high drive, left field. It's going to go. Welcome, Pete Alonso. He hits it out. Back beyond those bleachers in left field, a majestic shot. And it couldn't have been anything else, right? The first runs of spring training come off the bat of the big man. It is Pete Alonso to make it 2-0.
Yeah, Standing O heading back, and looks like love at first sight.
Already get to do the home run read. The home run count brought to you by Ground Loop Geothermal. This season, not all the magic is on the field, but under. Let the ground you walk on heat and cool your home. Pete Alonso averages mid-30s for a home run total per season. As a pitch to Huff, the big catcher is inside. It's 1-0. He left the Mets with 264 home runs. That's the Mets franchise record. Think about all the home run hitters they've had.
That's amazing.
Only took him 7 years to do it. 1-0 to Huff is popped out to play foul to the right. Yeah, got by Darryl Strawberry last year. He's been at 30-plus 6 times in 7 years. The pandemic season, that shortened season, the only exception. And again, we've talked about it. Those Iron Man-ish kind of numbers in that lineup every day. Huff taking off speed. It's inside, 2-1. Since Alonso debuted in 2019, the only players in the big leagues with more home runs are Aaron Judge and Kyle Schwarber. That's the whole list. Bases clear, 1 out. The Orioles ahead by 2. Huff rips at it, doesn't get it. 2-2 the count. It's about a 92-mile-an-hour fastball thrown by the guy that wears 93 on his back, Bradley Henner. Martinsville, Virginia native, 21st round pick of Minnesota back in 2019. Kick, 2-2 pitch, just outside full count. And, of course, with Alonso, his Mets tenure ended in some bitter disappointment. They were eliminated from the postseason contention the last day of the year last year. What a slide they took. Payoff pitches roped down the left field line by Huff. That's going to hit the corner. And Huff digs past first on his way to second. Lumbering catcher safely in there with a double. That's a nice way to follow the home run antics of Pete Alonso. And we shouldn't go to sleep on Huff, by the way, if the Orioles end up carrying 3 catchers. That's a guy that has done some things in the big leagues. Not a lot, but at least he's been there. And that's the thing. You've got Adley Rutschman. You've got Basayo. They're both terrific, but they both play the same position. And you can't say, well, just give one a day off, put him at first. No, because that's where Pete Alonso plays.
Yeah, and you really want their bats in the lineup every day for the most part. I'm sure they'll get some breaks, but when you have your primary backup catcher also as your DH, it really makes sense to carry a third catcher.
Reed Trimble, the batter. And the Tupelo, Mississippi native takes on the outside corner, 0-1.
You don't want to be caught in a jam where, let's say, the primary catcher that day gets hurt, and then you need to insert your DH at catcher and then lose that spot the rest of the game.
Trimble takes a cut and sends a high soaring fly ball towards center. Garrett Martin coming in. He will make the catch with the wind hanging the ball up.
So it makes a lot of sense the way this roster is constructed, or any roster that has two good offensive catchers, to maybe think about carrying that third catcher, knowing that that person, that player, may rarely play.
And the only argument I can think of against that, because I'm not disagreeing with you at all, but just to do some talk show, let's bat it back and forth stuff, because so few games go 12, 13, 14 innings anymore, as Trimble checks his swing, or check that, Bradfield checks his swing, takes low, it's 1-0. You know, the number of times we'll get caught with that, not nearly what might have been several years ago before the ghost runner, but I'm actually kind of with you. I don't want to, get into a situation where you're one man short. Interesting call for the Orioles to make, for sure. 1-0 pitch to the lefty batter. It's inside, 2-0.
Now, if someone like Huff, as you mentioned, someone who's been in the big leagues, hits a lot this spring, then that becomes a much easier decision. If he can be someone who can contribute more than just being the third catcher or somewhat of an emergency catcher.
And the number of catchers the Orioles went through last year was troubling. Talk about a carousel that just keeps on spinning. Next delivery is upstairs to the speedy Bradfield, 3-0. But yeah, Sam Huff, righty hitting catcher, the guy that's on second base right now. Solid numbers in his brief time in the majors, 247 average, about a 730 OPS. 3-0 coming to Bradfield, and that wanders outside, ball 4. So it's been a fine bottom of the 6th inning. Finally a breakthrough inning in this one. The Orioles lead at 2-0 on the home run by the polar bear, Pete Alonso. Adley Rutschman to the plate. He is singled sharply to right, and it'll nubber back to the mound. Adley had the 2 home runs opening day last year, but as we talked about, only 7 more thereafter. I think his original superpower, Brett, his on-base skills, they kind of subsided a bit. He had a 370 OBP in 22 and 23. That was 12th best in the majors in that time. Since then, he's 90th instead of 12th. But I think there's a lot of bounce-back capability there. I think this could be a really, really good season for Adley Rutschman. 2 on, 2 out, the pitch to him as he bats left-handed, takes on the outside corner, strike 1.
As we know, it's really hard to be a good offensive catcher. The wear and tear of the position, getting through a Baltimore summer to handle a pitching staff, the demands of that, there's nothing quite like it in the sport.
The set, the 0-1 coming. That's fouled hard by Adley towards his own dugout. It's 0-2. I'm not anti-Joe Mauer being in the Hall of Fame because it is really tough, the beating that you take as a catcher to hit 350-ish, which Joe Mauer did one year. But to your point, he was playing his games in the air-conditioned comfort of the Metrodome in Minnesota. I did games for the Texas Rangers, Pudge Rodriguez catching in the Texas heat. That takes a toll, and that guy is legging out doubles and stealing bases. That's impressive stuff. Two on, 2 out, 2 strikes. The Orioles up 2-0. Pitch to Adley Rutschman is upstairs, 1-2.
Yeah, the Orioles had another catching prospect who was as highly touted as Rutschman not that long ago, named Matt Wieters, who was really good, a multi-time All-Star and Gold Glove Award winner, also a switch hitter.
1-2 is skied in the air down that third base line. The wind pushing it towards foul ground. Left fielder is coming over, crossing over, and making the catch. That is Avina, who does that now, the backup left fielder. Yeah, I think it's a great topic to keep discussing because I'm with you on everything you say. If Adley's not a Hall of Famer, if he's quote-unquote just Matt Wieters, is that bad? We'll keep going when we come back. Right now, on to the 7th. It's 2-0 Baltimore on the...
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what's to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metrics True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person living the deal. Additional terms apply.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
On we go to the 7th inning, and the Yankees keep doing that roster churn here. Looks like Jonathan Ornelas will be the leadoff man here in the top of the 7th. Baltimore on a Pete Alonso home run. Yeah, leading 2-0, and Trey Gibson now on the mound. And a hard fastball on the inside corner. It is 0-1. The Jim Palmer Minor League Pitcher of the Year in the O's minor league system last year. Big man is Gibson. And he gets Ornelas here. His first AB. He'll take on the outside corner this time. It's 0-2. Josh Lewin with Brett Hollander. We were just talking about Adley Rutschman kind of going big picture. Invoking the name of Matt Wieters, switch hitting catcher from a good college program. 0-2 pops inside. It's 1-2. For Wieters, it was Georgia Tech. Of course, Oregon State for Adley. But yeah, Matt Wieters, first-round pick of the Orioles, never a Hall of Fame caliber player, occasionally an all-star caliber player, hurt a bit, healthy a bit, but at the end of the day, a productive big league career. Gibson rocks on the rubber, the 1-2 pitch hit high in the air towards center field. Sprinting after it, Bradfield. He's back, he's there. He makes the catch just off his left hip. 1 up, 1 down, 7th inning.
To my broader point, Josh, I always wondered that if Wieters played, let's say, first base, would there have been a few more points on the batting average, a few more doubles, a few more home runs? We'll never know. He was a good catcher and a good offensive catcher.
Tyler Hardman batting, righty, hits one on the ground to short, vacuumed up there by Barrero, and he gets it right across in time to a new first baseman, Creed Williams. Recognizable by his long hair. I didn't really even see the uniform number. But yeah, the hair, it could only be Creed Williams. Down past his shoulders. But yeah, as we get Jackson Castillo up for the Yankees now against Gibson, I'm okay if Adley Rutschman is not the first ever Hall of Fame catcher for the Orioles. Here's a ground ball towards second. A sliding stop by Peyton Eales on to first where it's dropped by Creed Williams. Peyton Eales is fun to watch. He's 5'5". Looks like David Eckstein out there, if you remember that comp. Gritty player. And he just made a sliding stab of a ball. His throw a little low. Williams, who's a catcher by trade, just kind of stashed at first base right now. Could not make the scoop. And I guess that's going to be scored. Are they scoring that a base hit?
I think I heard that.
Ooh, that's friendly.
Hey, it's spring training.
Yeah, right on. All right, so apparently this now is Tyler Hardman batting. I know I've had him batting twice in this inning now, but that's spring training. Trying to get a good look at those gray numbers on the dark uniforms of the Yanks as this pitch is pumped foul out of play. It's 0-2. The Orioles ahead 2-0.
Good day for whiteout, Josh.
I was going to say, you're in mid-season form. You've got a fresh bottle of whiteout.
Yeah. Thank you to my local Staples.
I got nothing. In the words of Charlie Brown, I got a rock. I completely forgot about whiteout. It's been 7 years since I've done this, so.
Here you go.
Oh, you're the best. I didn't get you anything. 0-2 pitch, a fastball. It's high, 1-2. But just to pay off that point on Adley, yes, the Orioles have never had a Hall of Fame catcher. Can walk you through position by position if there's time. Pitch, a check swing. In there, strike three called. There is no time. That's the final out of the inning. Maybe we'll get back to Adley, maybe not. I just think he's such an important player for this year. But we're stretching for the first time in 2026. The Pete Alonso home run, still all the scoring. And in the middle of the seventh inning, Orioles 2, Yankees nothing. On the
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics True Score Report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Bottom of the seventh on approach, 2-0 Orioles. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Orioles Radio Network. With Brett Hollander, Josh Lewin, we are underway in the bottom of the seventh inning. Lefty batting, Will Robertson taking. It's a strike dealt in there from a Carson Coleman, right-hand batter. Next delivery fouled off to the left. The Yankees have brought 12 pitchers here to Sarasota today, all of them right-handed. So as we try to figure out who's pitching, who's doing what, that's not really helping. Next delivery coming. It's lifted foul again to the third base side. And just to finish our discussion, Brett, about what becomes of Adley Rutschman, and if we're all at peace with the path of decent big league player, not a Hall of Famer, that was the journey of Matt Wieters. And I get it. You draft a guy number 1 overall as a proven college stud. You're thinking Cooperstown is a reality with that kind of pedigree. But you know how many number 1 overall picks are in the Hall of Fame? The answer is 4. Pitch is in there, strike three called to Robertson. 1 out in the seventh inning. The Orioles ahead 2-0. The draft has been a thing for more than 60 years. You got the 4 number 1 overalls in the Hall of Fame. You got Griffey, Chipper Jones, Joe Mauer, Harold Baines. A-Rod could have been number 5, but he self-immolated with the bad PR. But you've still got more number 1 overall picks that have never played a day in the majors than have made it to the Hall of Fame. Pitch to Butterworth. A swing and a miss, 0-1. His first at bat, Brandon Butterworth out of Auburn. So the point is, if you land somewhere in between Steve Chilcott and Chipper Jones, that's okay for your careers. The pitch is fouled to the right, 0-2. Mentioned the Orioles have never had a Hall of Fame catcher. First base, sure, Eddie Murray and technically Jim Thome. Roberto Alomar at second, Aparicio, and of course Cal at short. George Kell, Brooks Robinson at third. Pitch, a wave and a miss. That's it for Butterworth, 2 down. And the diminutive Peyton Eels will come up. You got Frank Robinson, technically Reggie Jackson, Tim Raines, Vlad Guerrero. I mean, all at one point wore Oriole uniforms. Harold Baines DHing. Bunch of pitchers. Mussina, Palmer, Robin Roberts, Hoyt Wilhelm, technically Lee Smith, because he was there in 94. But catcher, nobody that's worn an Orioles uniform. Pitch to Eels is outside 1-0.
A lot of good ones.
Yeah, and a lot of popular ones, right? I mean, from Rick Dempsey to Javi Lopez, Elrod Hendricks back in the day, Mickey Tettleton.
Andy Etchebarren.
Yeah, I was a Chris Hoyles guy myself.
I don't blame you.
Pitch is in there to Eels. It's 1-1. Trying to do the math on your, so let's see. Who else would have been your catchers?
Well, Mickey Tettleton.
Yeah, Fruit Loops, that's a good one.
And I can take you right through the list. 92 opening day, Chris Hoyles. He held it down for a while, an Orioles Hall of Famer.
I think, I got to look this up, I think Ramon Hernandez has the most home runs by any Orioles catcher, which is crazy to me. But I think that's right. Wow. 1-2 to Eels, Slithers outside, 2-2.
That was a huge free agent signing at the time, I believe heading into the 06 season. The Orioles were trying to bring along a lot of young pitchers, and they went out and got someone like Ramon Hernandez, who was a huge part of those Moneyball A's teams.
2-2, a rip and a miss by Eels. Down he goes, and that's it for the bottom of the 7th. And still the 2-run homer by Pete Alonso. All the scoring in this one. We'll go to the top of the 8th now here in Sarasota. It is Baltimore 2, the New York Yankees nothing on the...
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person looking at the deal. Additional terms apply.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got you covered. And on for the play-by-play again, taking you the rest of the way from the 8th inning on. Here's Brett.
Well, don't go anywhere, Josh.
Oh, I'm new at this. Sorry.
Gibson's pitch to Avina is a ball low, 1-0. 2-0 Baltimore. The Grapefruit League opener, the Orioles trying to get off to a 1-0 start here in the Florida Sun. The 1-0. That one skipped in the dirt. 2-0. Jace Avina batting his first at-bat of the game in the number 8 spot for Aaron Boone and the Yankees. Trey Gibson, one of the Orioles' top prospects. Swing and a miss. Got a fastball by Avina. 2-1. In fact, right now, for those who care about such things, number 72 overall on the Baseball America Top 100 list. After a great start last year, climbed 3 levels. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 2-2. Overall, 26 games, a 4.26 ERA, averaging about 12.5 strikeouts per 9, which is out of this world for a starting pitcher. But there was a climb in weight class, swing and a miss, as he gets Avina to chase one in the dirt. Another strike by an Oriole pitcher. They are piling those up right now. Ali Sanchez will bat. 1 out, bases empty. Gibson, when he was in Double-A, that's Chesapeake, the Bay Sox, he had a 1.55 ERA. In 7 starts in Triple-A Norfolk, in ERA near 8. Swing and a miss. Another good off-speed pitch there by Sanchez. So, yes, he said he had never faced hitters of that caliber before, and it certainly was a bit of a shock. But the Orioles very high on young Trey Gibson. The 0-1, chopper to third base, picked up by Butterworth. He throws across the diamond in plenty of time, and Sanchez is retired. So 2 quick outs for Trey Gibson here in the top of the 8th.
When you get a nickname for your slider and it's called the death ball, that means somebody thinks pretty highly of your slider. And that's where we were with Trey Gibson last year. And you're right. I mean, that step up in class from Double-A to Triple-A, a lot of people think in baseball that's the toughest jump to make. Because that's where the big kids are out of school. You're facing guys who are 27.
Foul back behind home plate by the Yankee batter.
I think it's Garrett Martin.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It is Garrett Martin.
Took a wild guess, but I think that's right.
I hope his parents know he's here. This is pop foul.
He was actually an Orioles draft pick in 2018, but he didn't sign. He went to Austin Peay. And you know this one. The chant they do there. Can I say this on our radio station?
Yeah, be careful.
They say, "Let's go Peay." I mean, that's the name of the school.
When you hear Austin Peay, you just think that's got to be a 15 seed in the NCAA tournament.
That's exactly right, which I think they have been.
0-2 to Martin. Gibson trying to go 2 scoreless here in this Grapefruit League opener. On a day started by Trevor Rogers, he went 2 scoreless. That one is low for a ball. 1-2 to the batter Martin. Orioles have pitched really well right now. The Yankees have just 2 base hits, and the Orioles have piled up 12 strikeouts in this game.
I think Wolfram striking out the side in his inning, that was probably the shiniest piece.
The 1-2. Grounded slowly. Left side, backhanded at short by Barrero. He fires to first base, and he beats Martin there by about a step. And a 1-2-3 inning for Trey Gibson. And the Orioles still pitching a shutout here at Ed Smith Stadium. It's 2-0 Baltimore as we go to the bottom of the 8th on the...
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Bottom 8, Orioles have a 2-0 lead. And a new Coleman on the mound for the Yankees. It was Carson Coleman who pitched last inning, and now it is Dylan Coleman. Orioles have a 2-0 lead on a Pete Alonso 2-run homer in his orange and black debut.
Love that, but also, as we were just talking about the pitching so far today, Brett, I mean, we've seen this before from Trevor Rogers, obviously, a lot of strikes being thrown, but I'm going to get you the balls and strikes for some of these relievers in a second.
Rounded foul, wide the bag at third, off the bat of Jose Borrero, who just made a nice play to end the top half of the eighth.
You had Wolfram throw 13 pitches, 11 of them were strikes. Espada throw 14 pitches, 11 of them were strikes. Gibson, and remember, command is supposed to be not there yet. He threw 21 pitches, 16 of them were strikes. So far, maybe your team MVP is Drew French.
I was going to say, Frenchie's going to sleep well tonight. A lot of hard work to get to this point. The 0-1 off the mitt of the New York catcher, Peyton Henry, and to the backstop it goes. 1-1 to Jose Borrero with Creed Willems on deck. Coleman last year between AA and AAA 11 games, ERA near 5. Yankees brought over a roster with maybe, as far as the position group goes, the 1-1. That's down the right field line and fairly deep. Into the corner it goes, but making the catch is Jackson Castillo, shy of the warning track in right. And Borrero is retired. And now Willems will bat. Powerful young left-handed batter. Yankees brought maybe a handful of guys you know are going to make the team. Austin Wells, certainly the everyday catcher. Jose Caballero, an important player for their team. Chisholm, an all-star caliber player. But no Aaron Judge, no Giancarlo Stanton today. That pitch is down and into Willems, 1-0. Yankees will be home tomorrow against the Tigers in Tampa, Florida, at George Steinbrenner Field, which, by the way, this season is just the Yankees, and it will not be shared with the Tampa Bay Rays. The 1-0, this is foul back over our heads, 1-1. The Rays are back down the road at Tropicana Field after not being able to play there last year.
Never thought I'd say the words out loud. So glad to be going to Tropicana Field, but that sounded awkward last year, going and playing those games there.
The 1-1. Outside for a ball. 2-1, of course, our trips there, I think we're July and August. We're June and July. So you're going to bring a few change of shirts to make it through those games.
I would love to be a deodorant salesman in Tampa, Florida for those games in July and August.
Probably the biggest thing is Shane Baz, who's now an Oriole, the 2-1, outside 3-1. Baz, a big ad this past offseason. The Orioles gave up a lot of big-time prospects to get Baz, who is huge stuff. Baz last year, in ERA about 5, pitching at George Steinbrenner Field, and then on the road was about a run and a half better. Something to that. The 3-1, that's ball 4. Low, Willems earns a walk.
Well, the first day of spring training, Craig Albanez was asked, what is the upside for Baz? And his answer was Cy Young Award winner. So no pressure there, big fella. But I'm with you. I think that this guy coming in, look, I mean, he's made 41 starts since the last one from Grayson Rodriguez. And that stat pretty much sums up why Baz is now here, and Rodriguez got dealt to the Angels for Taylor Ward.
Sam Huff, the batter. A catcher doubled his first time up. Huff looks at a breaking ball outside, 1-0.
You talk about Baz, he's still only 26, got 54 big league starts, swing and miss arsenal, and familiarity with Craig Albanez because they were together in Tampa Bay.
The pitch. That's clocked into left field. On the run, the left fielder for the Yankees, Avina, and he can't get to it. It bangs off the wall. Getting the stop sign at third is Willems, held up by Buck Britton, but that's another double for Sam Huff.
Well, we'll tie all this together here, Brett. You know, all the catchers share one side of the clubhouse. They all sit astride of each other, 5 lockers next to each other, kind of beyond the ping pong table towards the trainer's room. And Craig Albanez, a former catcher himself, and has a real drive and I guess want to when you talk about the underdog, right? Because he was one, 5'8". Nobody thought he'd amount to much. So he sees guys like Huff, sees guys like Willems, and roots for them. And now they're both on base.
Reed Trimble, the batter. Yankees bring the infield in. And it's a strike 1 to Trimble. So 2-0 Orioles. If this were the regular season right now, you would be talking about these are important insurance runs out there. So right now, with only one out, Trimble at least wants to put the ball in play and hopefully get it in the air to the outfield. Right on left, the 0-1. Trimble, a big cut and a wave and a miss. Got tied up with one there. 0-2. On deck, Enrique Bradfield. Dylan Coleman with a high set right at his head. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And he got him with something off speed. So on 3 pitches, Coleman takes care of Trimble. And now with 2 outs, the Yankee infield will back up. And Enrique Bradfield will come to the plate.
It is a deceptive delivery, as you kind of hinted at. And Trimble has had some problems making contact in the past in the minor leagues. Pretty easy work right there.
Good spot for the youngster. First-round pick. Orioles outfield prospect Enrique Bradfield. Right on left, and Bradfield takes low for a ball. 1-0. Bradfield, the fastest man in the Orioles organization. Also probably right now the best defender in the outfield. Not likely to make the club, but this is a big spring for Enrique Bradfield, who was a first-round pick all the way back now in 23, which is not that long ago, but in prospect terms, it's getting there in the modern world. The 1-0. Bradfield hits this towards right center field. It hangs up for Martin, who cuts in front of his right fielder Castillo to make the catch. And the Orioles leave 2 in scoring position. We're 8 complete in Sarasota, Florida. The Grapefruit League opener, and the Orioles are 3 outs away from a win. We'll head to the 9th on the...
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Brett Hollander and Josh Lewin with you from Ed Smith Stadium. Orioles 3 outs away from a win. That's always fun to say and think. 2-0 Baltimore.
I want, if you'll allow me, Brett, just to thank you for making this so easy today. We're going to have a lot of fun this year, and, of course, Wags when he's back in the booth as well. But thanks for making this so fun and so easy today.
Well, thanks for giving me this weird full circle moment as Trey Gibson stays in the game for a 3rd inning of work and delivers a ball 1 low to Shoemake, trying to protect this 2-0 lead. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1, but as someone who, as I mentioned earlier, listened to you at WBAL, host Sportsline.
This has got to be the first time that 2 Sportsline hosts at WBAL have teamed up on a broadcast.
Well, I don't know. I did a few games with Steve Molesky. He's done many games over the years.
Yeah.
But not many. Down and in, 2-1. But it shows kind of the impact of that show, I think, a little bit in its heyday.
Yeah. Well, I don't think like Jeff Rimmer and Greg Scher ever did a game together, did they?
No, but Jeff Rimmer did a lot of NHL.
Yeah, and very well. And a lot of Orioles talk, too.
The 2-1, a chopper towards second base. Eels has it, an overhand flip to first, and there's 1 down. 1 out in the top of the 9th with the Orioles add 2-0. Gibson 2 1/3 scoreless so far. But having a chance to listen to you in the 90s on WBAL and then watching your great career take off on Fox and Major League Baseball and the NFL and all the stops you've had along the way. By the way, you won't be here the rest of the weekend because you need to catch a bird to Los Angeles.
I do.
Bright and early to call UCLA basketball. That team fighting for their tournament lives.
They tend to not make any news, so I'm sure you won't hear anything that's going on with the coach or whatever. But, yeah, no, I'll be back, though. See you guys in Fort Myers. And, of course, Wags is on his way back down. We'll have some fun this year.
Zach Short fouls it behind home plate off the facade to our right, 0-1. Gibson delivers one high, 1-1. Now, we'll have fun. I think this is going to be an entertaining ball club. Even with some of the injury news over just these last few weeks, I don't think the overall optimism has wavered at all from Orioles fans after an incredibly aggressive offseason. A broken back ground ball picked up at shortstop by Barrero onto first. Nicely done, 2 away.
I think tempered but not dashed is a great way to describe it, right? Yeah, you'd love to have Holiday ready to go day one. You'd love to have Westberg ready to go day one. But because it's the Orioles, and this just seems to happen every year, it's like the whole we can't have nice things, right? I mean, something was going to happen. You got 2 guys down for April. All right, there's a lot here. I mean, Pete Alonso's already hit a home run.
The Orioles definitely lead the league these last few years in pre-Grapefruit League opener injuries. Inside Ornelas want to know. There's no question about that.
I'm sure Mike Elias is saying, why?
Oh,
why is that?
I know Mike is saying that. But the Orioles go out and add a bunch this past offseason. They're hoping to not only get back to the postseason, but make some noise. Breaking ball missed outside, just off the plate, 2-0. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, the Orioles have not challenged today?
They will apparently go away with the challengers in their pockets. They have not challenged today.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're pitching a shutout. Hit sharply left side, beyond the dive of the third baseman Butterworth. And that is a 2-out base hit off the bat of Ornelas. So the tying run in this top of the ninth will come to the plate.
Well, Tyler Hardman's a guy that has decent power. And he'll get his opportunity here. Are you surprised that Gibson is motoring on, right? I mean,
and I don't think there's anyone warming in the Baltimore pen. You just don't see pitchers get 3 ups at this point, let alone go 3 complete.
It's 31 pitches.
First by Ornelas. Right on right. Gibson works from the stretch, the pitch. That's low for a ball.
Well,
1-1.
Here's the confusion. They brought 2 guys wearing 79. One is Hardman, one is Henry. But you're right, this is Peyton Henry, who also has some pop.
Trey Gibson. Really big, imposing figure on the mound. Little tapper foul, almost out of the catcher's mitt. That time by Peyton Henry. But for Trey Gibson, how about this frame? 6'5". I asked him, he's listed at 240. He said he'll take the over right now on that.
Well, if he can bring this on at home, about 8,000 fans go home very happy in the Grapefruit League opener.
Sellout here at Ed Smith Stadium, and they're on their feet. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And that's your ball game. And on opening day here in Sarasota, the Orioles shut out the Yankees. A 2-0 win for Baltimore. Neat and tidy on a sun-soaked day here in Florida. A 2-0 win for the Orioles. And they played and pitched really well today. Capped off with a Pete Alonso 2-run homer and then 3 scoreless from Trey Gibson earning a save. We'll come back to chat about it with Josh Lewin next here from Ed Smith Stadium on the...
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person looking at the deal. Additional terms apply.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo.